Good afternoon, everyone. It's the thriving time of the year, and G-Pop Coffee Republic brings you Brewing Live Season 7. Let's connect with the digital pulse today. Brewing Live is a community service of G-Pop Coffee Republic, and we are now on our seventh month of serving in the digital space. Our heart as an organization is to fill your digital cup with great stuff that matters and ignite your space with opportunities for impact, income, and influence so that you can experience transformation in different areas of your life through the platform of life coaching. And for this reason, we are feeling the digital pulse and filling the void with what can truly help you thrive in this new decade. Decaf Coffee Republic is a coaching hub and the home of certified life coaches where inspiration begins and transformation happens. Through the platform of life coaching, our physical space is located inside Pioneer Center along Pioneer Road, corner Brixton and United Streets, Capitolio, Pasig City. Our hub is open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily for dine-in, pick-up, and delivery of your premium drinks and nutritious food. Plant-based meals are also available to help keep you fit and healthy, especially during this time of pandemic. For your coaching needs, we do offer coaching services on demand 24/7. Disconnect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 any time of the day and any day of the week. You may also visit our coaching hub for complimentary coaching sessions even without prior appointment. Thank you for joining me today. Please do tag a friend in the comments below and share this link in your FB timeline, FB group, and or FB page so that we can reach more people and help transform many lives. If you are new to this FB page, please like and follow so you can get notifications for our future live streaming. Decaf Brewing Live is in partnership with Coach A Coaching Club, the premier club for coaches and entrepreneurs. Our mission as club members is to create massive impact by turning our talents into income and influencing the people in our chosen domain and territory through the platform of life coaching. This community service is one of many ways that we are giving back to humanity the things we learned inside the club. Please do connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 to know more about how you can be part of Coach A Coaching Club and benefit from this learning opportunity with Master Coach A. For today's episode, I will share with you building time spaces online. So, as we begin, I invite you to intentionally learn from this episode and earn wisdom, strategies, and techniques as you give generously to the advancement of life coaching and support fellow change agents in the practice of the profession. For your love gift, you may also click the PayPal link in the caption of this FB Live. You may also give through bank transfer, GCash, or PayMaya. Giving is earning the opportunity to be blessed and to be a channel of God's blessing. So I am inviting you to say yes to the privilege of giving honor to whom honor is due. And remember, giving is a lifestyle that makes you stand out all the time. Thank you so much for your generous heart. So again, connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 if you wish to give your blessing in a special way. So let's begin. You're joining me live. I'm currently at the Venice Canal Grand Mall. So if you find any value and any learning, please share it on your own timeline with hashtag #MyBagMoment and hashtag #DecapBrewingLive. So I can also check if what sharing you got from this FB Live. So ayun, let's go on. I hope you all understand and the courage and spirit of solidarity with the nation and safety. I will be wearing my mask as I do this FB live from the mall. So let's begin. So as you come to this FB live, I would like to ask you, and as you reflect, have you ever felt on edge whenever you log in into social media, whether on mobile or on browser, that you feel a little anxiety, a tightness in chest whenever you see, oh, I'm gonna go into FB, IG, Twitter, or any platform. Have you ever felt bad as you scroll through your feed, that as you scroll through it, you feel depressed, you start feeling worse about what you see or about yourself? Hints of fear of missing out as you see other people celebrate, or frustration as you see news about awful things, or in general, just a reaction to triggering content. And because of all these feelings, have you ever felt like you didn't want to speak your thoughts anymore? Like you don't want to post about it anymore. You don't want to share your thoughts. You don't want to post because you just feel so bad. And are there feelings like whenever you're gonna go online, you're about to fight someone? Like whenever you see this person on your feed, you're about to comment on their status and engage in a fight, a verbal online fight, or even just seeing them online now triggers you as a girl. Or in general, have you ever felt just exhausted or tired after logging in to social media that even if you spend 5, 10, or even hours on it, you just feel depleted, like in the illustration you see. If you said yes to a majority of these, or even say yes to one but have felt it consistently for a long time, you might want to consider that you've been experiencing toxicity, online toxicity. It's not only now in physical presence can we experience toxicity. The beauty of the internet has allowed us to connect, but it also allows us to see the worst, like where differences of opinion can no longer be discussed, or that even just being honest about our own feelings, people will say, don't be negative. And it feels toxic to be spoken to that way. That's the general feeling that builds when you're exposed to all of this toxicity, all these negative feelings. And that builds and builds. This space, this online space, this becomes toxic, and as you're continuously exposed to it, the toxicity can lead to burnout. And that feeling of draining, like I said, after logging off, it's like you're so exhausted, you're so tired, or that is even the act of logging in. It's already filled with love. And if you continue to allow yourself to be exposed to toxicity, or just because of it's already there, the burnout builds and builds and builds, you are now undergoing chronic stress. And when that chronic stress continues, of course, we know it can lead to mental issues like anxiety, even depression. But what affects the mind can also affect the body. So that chronic stress can affect your brain. That as time builds and you're exposed to this toxicity online, you have difficulty concentrating. You can have again mental conditions, irritability, or bad moods, mind fog. You can't think straight. And for your heart, it can affect how you eat because you stress eat in response, or it can also affect just the heart rate. So your heart doesn't pump its blood properly. So it can lead to high cholesterol, high blood, increased risk and of heart attack. Now, it can also increase the rest of your body, your joints, your muscles, immune system, skin, your gut, even your reproductive system. In general, stress, negative, persistent, chronic stress can lead to negative effects on the body, aside from the mental. So that's why, as part of our profession to build better people, healthier connections, we encourage that we also focus on building kinder spaces online. It's hard to disconnect, just say, oh, I don't need social media. In reality, we are using so many internet-based apps. We can't say no to it anymore. We have to also adapt. That's how we get information. It's how we've kept safe during the pandemic. That we connected online, we consume media online. But maybe for some, if not all, there are aspects of our online space that is getting too much. It is getting too toxic. So let's start working on reclaiming that space, making it more pride. making it a kinder space for ourselves and even for other people. As we cultivate our spaces, we can also help other people. So I will share to you 5 steps to building kind spaces. So first and foremost, set your intention. Many times we mindlessly again scroll through our social media or that there are struggles in staying focused or grounded. And the best way is to live every day with intention. And specifically, what is your intention when you go into the online space? What do you want to spark in you? Like with Marie Kondo, where you can spark joy. Do you want to spark joy in yourself? Do you want to spark inspiration in others? And also, what does this online and digital space mean to you? What does online, digital mean to you? Maybe due to the toxicity, we've already associated it with pain, frustration, or just, as they would say, a hindrance to the lives we live. But if you shift your intention and define what the digital space means to you, you can go, it means more connection. People we don't get to see every day, especially now, again, in pandemic, keeping safe. We now connect via the digital space. It also gives us a breath of what's happening in the world. How can we contribute? How can we help? It's us learning. Then after asking ourselves what we want to spark, what this digital space means to you, ask is what can we maintain. Sometimes we want everything. So we're on all the social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and then we're on multitude of messaging apps. WhatsApp, Viber, Telegram, Messenger. You see, it seems like there's a lot of juggling. And while we can say yes, we can handle all of this, we also need to set boundaries and ask what can we maintain. Can we maintain an hygiene FT, YouTube and FT? It's all about what can you maintain and what are you willing to cultivate there. Then from there, we can also ask what are we cultivating in that space. As we build kinder spaces, we need to first acknowledge what are digital boundaries. Like sometimes we have issues or traumas with various events in the world because we had our own events and traumas in our lives. So maybe you don't want to see anything about celebrities, you don't want to see anything about politics, or you also just don't want to see anyone talking about foods if you're having issues and building your relationships. So what are your digital boundaries? The same as if you would in real life. There are topics you can choose not to partake in or to be aligned with. And sometimes it's also people. Have you ever had a friend request from someone you've never talked to, but somehow they added you? You're allowed to not accept that. You're also allowed to unfriend those you first made friends with because you see that you're no longer aligned. But of course, I would say you would use that as a last resort if you want to continue with the relationship. So sometimes I've seen that and I've also done it myself where you mute and follow temporarily people just so that you can distance yourself from the feelings they trigger in you. Because they may not be aware and they are also not always the ones responsible for the feelings they trigger. The feelings we have, we're the ones responsible. Their actions may trigger it, their posts may trigger it, but it's up to us to handle it. And again, if you want to maintain the relationship, that's when you give feedback and talk to them further. But cultivate that space. What is this space that we want to protect? What are those boundaries? And if we need to curate our list, our connections, we need to cultivate it. We need to use the tools at our hand to mute, to follow or unfollow, to block, to connect, or unfriend. Of course, always do this from your intention. Of course, we're not trying to burn down the entire digital space, but maybe there are people who you've already learned to cope with, learn to grow with, or just realize that maybe they are not no longer aligned to your dream. Use these tools to cultivate and curate that space. And sometimes, I admit, it can get overwhelming. Or sometimes we know that their people's actions or the content is too much. It's that we disengage. Pick your battles, as they would say. Sometimes we have minor and major disagreements about certain topics. Again, politics, religion, everything else. We have to acknowledge that each of us are different people. We have different viewpoints about these topics. So we need to respect others and build a life and build those boundaries. Because not everybody needs to be proven right or wrong. And sometimes some, as they would say, are just trolls. You know, there are people who intentionally try to trigger others because that's what makes them feel alive, whatever their reasons may be. Don't feed them. Don't engage when you're not ready to engage. You can use to disengage because that's enforcing the boundary. Again, if you want to talk to them, that's okay. But disengage when you need to. And you cannot stay in your intention. You cannot stay kind. And sometimes take a break from social media. Continue building the lives outside of social media. Yes, pandemic makes it difficult to go out and we take risks in doing so. But always remember, you can still build a life. Get a hobby, have conversations over phone with other people. There are many ways to find connection outside as well. So that you can maintain this balance of boundaries between both the digital and the physical spaces. So pick your battles. Don't always feed the trolls. And for any differences in opinions, always remember to respect each other. Again, if it's a hill that you want to die on, as they say, think about it. Is it worth dying for? Is that hill the one that you're willing to break? Relationships for. So pick your battles. Then step four, curate your content. There's a concept that if you want to see a red car, you keep thinking about the red car, you'll see that red car. It's the same for the digital space. Sometimes we want to express our sadness, our frustrations. It's okay. But sometimes if we no longer see the content we want to see, like we want to see happier photos or bars of ourselves, of animals, of food, we can be the first one to post the content we want to see. Because in turn, as you post your content, other people will see that content. And in turn, yeah, I've seen threads where someone posts a dog and they say, hey, what does your dog look like? And they start sharing all these photos of their dogs, of their cats. It triggers, and that space becomes kinder. The space aligns to their intention. And sometimes there are things we go through. We want to express our feelings. That's all right. We can say we're in a difficult moment. But be prepared that people in the digital space can still judge. So be also prepared to also curate what things need to be on a need to know basis. Again, we all have our opinions, we have our content, we have our intention. Share those things in alignment to those. And if it's like something very private, which respectively we are to judge whether the world needs to know these things. Think about it. Curate it so that you put out what you want to receive rather than you put out much too much drama, as it were, the victimhood. You can choose to say, I'm going through difficult times, I need support, or I need well wishes, rather than just focusing on the problem. So curate your content. It's not always what you think immediately you post. Think about it because once you post, it also doesn't disappear. So what's on the internet lasts forever. So be mindful for that. We deserve that the content we leave online reflects on what we want to see. And finally, attract your tribe. Again, the connections we have online can reflect what we want, and at the same time can reflect the physical, digital. So try to see if you can marry the two. Those you connect with physically, try to see if you connect with them digitally. That the same people who support you in real life can support you in the digital life. And if you can't find, like sometimes we are not blessed or privileged to be surrounded by those loving people. That's the beauty of the internet. You can find the tribe that you want to connect with. A lot of people who get into baking, there are groups about baking, plantitos, plantitas, all these gardening groups. That's where you can connect with them. And in turn, you share knowledge, you connect, you make relationships. It becomes that safe space for you to express your interest in these hobbies or your discussions. And if anything, build even more meaningful connections. Because not everyone we meet in life will connect, but maybe through the digital space, it's easier to connect because it's easier to find like-minded people. So, in building kind spaces, it's always asking ourselves our intention. What are we contributing to that intention? What boundaries are we respecting? And what are we trying to attract? Are the people around us digitally as well matching that attraction, matching those intentions? Because it's very easy to get lost in the digital space alone, feeling we're all alone. But if you find the tribe, attract your tribe, you'll be able to reinforce the space you want, keeping the relationships that matter, making things work. So, just to help make it more tangible, sometimes we have to remind ourselves that there are things we need to manifest in our lives. Whatever beliefs we come from, sharing a principle I've heard time and time again in different ways, leadership programs, coaching programs, or even just in studies into different philosophies. There's something called as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. As above, so below. What are we thinking, honoring above becomes what we are here in the present. What's happening internally with us reflects on our outside. And as we attune with greater things beyond us, do our soul reflect it? So, what are we attracting? What intention are we setting? What space are we building? Are we building kinder ones? Are we building toxic ones? It's always a choice. We may be find ourselves in these spaces already or not. Now it's to choose, do we keep them or do we cultivate new ones? And in time, it is my hope that as you ask these questions of building kinder spaces for yourself digitally, because we cannot escape the digital anymore, you're able to do so on the terms that matter to you. So, with that, I invite you if you want to know more about connecting digitally or even just your own experiences. You can connect with me, Coach Trisha O'Leary, at my IG, is O'Leary, or my FB, Trisha O'Leary, and of course, an HR professional and a certified life coach. And currently, which is why I'm at the mall, selling some ice cream if you ever. Check us out at Venice Grand Mall. We're selling the good pints, some homemade, handcrafted ice cream. So thank you for your time. In behalf of the Cup of Coffee Republic and Coach A Coaching Club, we want to thank you all for being part of this journey. You can watch the replay of all the episodes from season 1 to 6 inside the FB pages of Decaf Coffee Republic and Life Coach Philippines. You can also check on Coach A iConnect YouTube channel for the HD video copy of this episode. Remember to subscribe to the channel so that you can get alerts when a new video becomes available. Tomorrow, our episode is by Coach Rizal Sanchez, so be sure to join us back at 12 noon as we continue to feel the digital pulse and fill the void so you can thrive. Love Bamboo!